We are now on Module 3, Lesson 3, which focuses on characterization and author's purpose. Today, you are going to learn how a writer describes the characters and his or her reason for writing. After going through this lesson, you will be expected to distinguish various characterization used in the story, identify the writing purpose of the author, and lastly, plot a simple personal experience using a diagram. Let's do activity 3.1. Tell us what you know about the following words from column A and write your answers to column B in your worksheet. The column A will be the terminologies, while the column B will be your ideas. Don't worry, all your ideas are correct and valid. I just want to check your opinions. First, narrator. Second, author. Third, characters. And fourth, the writing style. Great job, learners! Don't forget to write on your worksheet. Let's proceed to task 3.2. Before you answer, kindly read again the story of Orpheus, or try to look back the story of Orpheus and familiarize with the story as you read the following questions and write your answer on your worksheet. First, enumerate as many characters in the story. I will give you a hint. The main character and his wife. Eurydice. Now it's your turn to enumerate all the characters that you have known based on the story. Second, in one sentence, give your idea about the following words. When you think about narrative, what comes into your mind? How about persuasive? How about descriptive? How about informative? I like your ideas. The following are terms important in understanding further what characterization is. You need to bear this in your mind and take note. How a character is described by and what to look for. First, himself or herself. What to look for? The use of first-person point of view, which is I, my, mine, and myself. Second is the author. The use of third-person point of view, usually the words of the narrator. Third, other characters. The use of description by other characters in the story. And lastly, you as a reader. Use of your own understanding and feelings about the character. And please, the next short reading is all about the reasons of an author in writing a certain story or text. An author's purpose is his reason for or intent in writing. An author's purpose may be to amuse the reader, to persuade the reader, to inform the reader, or to satirize a condition. And author purpose also sometimes with one or four general purposes in mind. First, to relate a story or to recount events, an author uses narrative writing. This is for narrative writing class. So the author wants to relate a story into another event, meaning he wants to narrate the story. Second is to tell what something looks like, sounds like, or feels like. So in this area, the author is trying to say that he is writing a descriptive type. He is describing the feelings, the looks, and the condition of the characters in the story, or what is the condition of the story. Third is to convince a reader to believe an idea or to take a course of action. The author uses persuasive writing. So the author wants to persuade. That's why he uses persuasive writing. Or to inform or teach the reader. So the author uses expository writing. So don't forget those four: narrative, descriptive, persuasive, and expository writing. So an author's purpose is reflected in way he writes about a topic. So, for instance, if his purpose is to amuse, he will use jokes or anecdotes or humors in his writing. Clues to an author's purpose may be found in titles, prefaces, and the author's background. This is according to Miami-Dade College on reading author's purpose, access June 12, 2020. So take note of those things. So it's very important to know about characterization. Let's proceed to activity 3.3. Read each question carefully and tick only the boxes on your worksheet if you think it's correct, okay? Just check. Now, you're going to check if you have observed the following from the story Orpheus. First, Orpheus described himself as a good musician. You think it's correct? Just tick the box. Hades said that Orpheus was sad. Third, at the end of the story, the persona narrated Orpheus as impatient and suspicious. Just choose a box which you think is correct or are correct. So at the end of the story, yan, the persona narrated Orpheus as impatient and suspicious. So what do you think? Is this correct or not? So just tick or check. So in one sentence, answer based from your observation and opinion. So this is just an opinion from you, class. So as a reader, describe Orpheus. Based on the story, try to look back. Try to familiarize again the story. And try to know Orpheus. So what do you think? So as a reader, describe Orpheus. I know you have great ideas about it. Letter B, writer's purpose. Below are 4 statements. Another is you're going to check the box that best describes Alice Lowe's reason for writing the story. Alice Lowe was the writer of the story. She retold the story. First, Alice Lowe narrates the events of Orpheus' rescue of Eurydice from the underworld. Second, Alice Lowe wants to describe the setting of the story colorfully. Third, Alice Lowe's main purpose in writing the story is to convince that life is full of regrets. So what do you think? Alice Lowe hopes that to provide scientific information about the story. Just tick the box that best describes Alice Lowe's reason for writing the story. Now, let's do activity 3.4. In 2 to 5 sentences, write your takeaways on your worksheet. 3 to 5 sentences only, class. Very good. Now that you had written your takeaways, let's proceed to activity 3.5. Please provide your own understanding of the following based on the story Orpheus. 1. Your idea about the character, the physical characteristics, and the behavior or attitude of Orpheus. Physical and behavior. And second, author's purpose in writing Orpheus. So what do you think is the purpose of the author? So there are many reasons. So I just want to know. Now, let's do activity 3.6. You're going to complete the plot pyramid substantially and concisely on your worksheet. So the plot pyramid was already on your module. So imagine a very short story where you are the main character. Now, tell us what happened in your interesting story through filling in scenarios 1 and 2 sentences. So 1 to 2 sentences only. So imagine a very short story where you are the main character. Now, tell us what happened in your interesting story through filling in scenarios on the plot pyramid provided for you on your module. Wow, congratulations! Great job! So I hope that you have learned something in our lesson for today for Module 3. See you on the last